name is Pamela Belich. I'm 28 years old. I founded a company called Right to Be Seen, which is a youth theater for youths who want to express themselves in a creative way, but maybe have not always had the best chances of having that outlet to kind of understand what they're going through emotionally. Because I grew up probably in a normal, dysfunctional family, nothing too dramatic, but I never really had a lot of understanding of how to express myself verbally. But I always had the communication when it came through picking up a pen, when it came through going onto a stage or behind a microphone. So I grew up in love with performance art. I grew up songwriting. I was playing piano lessons. I had been in honor chorus and all county band and drama club through high school. And then in college, I became a theater major. My parents had decided pick a school in state, and I didn't know what I wanted to do besides theater. So I became a theater major at UCF, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it career wise, but I knew that I had thought that it was really cool getting into this concept called devising, which means basically you have a ground floor starting from ground zero. You don't have a script, you don't have a plot, you don't have a cast, and then you just get it all together yourself and you create the production. And we base it on our own experiences, on our own bodies, and whatever we see going on in the world around us. So I loved doing that. And I wasn't sure how I wanted to break into it. But when I got into my senior year, I found something called Theater for Social Change. So there's a beautiful woman named Sybil St. Clair. She still teaches that course in the University of Central Florida.
Is that at UCF?
Through UCF, yes, sir. And what it taught me was you start with improvisation and just getting open up to getting out of your own headspace and getting that camaraderie with others and understanding that it's okay to express all the quirks of who you really are, that kind of externally growing up, you start to, if you were me at least, fall back into, if you have that personality of, I'll put others first and my voice matters less, which is why I call my company Right to Be Seen, because through that communication, we start to see ourselves and then we can help to encourage others to also be expressive. So that's what it taught me. And then there's a process in that where we start with just our bodies and creating images where you don't need the words. And then it goes into playing back other people's stories. And then you create a forum. There's something called forum theater, where you create a forum, just a public discussion about how to change those issues that people may be struggling with, but through acting it out. So this was a very powerful process for me that I wanted to implement in my own life, and I wasn't sure how. And when I graduated, I found the Orlando Poetry Slam. And this was a community that...
The Orlando what?
The Orlando Poetry Slam.
Gotcha.
So Poetry Slam saves a lot of people's lives. It helps
What is a poetry slam?
So Poetry Slam is when you use the spoken word, creative writing, and poetry and performance art. You put it all together, and you're putting a poem onto the stage for a competition. It started out as a silly bar game in Chicago, and Chicago was in one of the founding things. It's certainly not the only thing that founded the Poetry Slam movement, but it started out as just this idea of the poetry becomes a way to grab an audience attention. And that became so much more than just about the poem. It became a way to activate political movements and social justice work through the open mic type of atmosphere. And I thought, this is social change. They might just not necessarily, there's a bunch of kids doing it. They might not necessarily call it.
Did you do poetry yourself?
Yes.
Did you do poetry? Okay, so was that your jam at the Poetry Slam? I mean, I know there's, tell them a little bit about how that is. You go up and you begin to recite something original, or can it be something of somebody else's work? How does it work?
It has to be all original works, and you get judged from random audience members on a scale of 0 through 10. Completely arbitrary numbers. The point is just to grab the audience attention and to make them feel something. So for me, theater was a practice of, it's something that's beyond yourself. It's just there's that camaraderie to it. It's the friends you make, but it's that community. It's being involved with something that's bigger than just you, is what it's always been for me. But through Slam, I thought, this is theater for social change, and people might not recognize it as that. But now that I know both of these, now that I know my love for Poetry Slam and also for Theater for Social Change, I wanted to combine that. And I sat on this idea when I was going through school. I wanted to be a nonprofit. I wanted to do something with Device Theater. I wanted to do something pro bono, but I didn't really know how. I sat on it for 5 years to start my own thing. But through Orlando Poetry Slam, I was in the competitions. I went through the Mac DeLand Slam team also, and DeLand, I came through to Southern Poetry Slam last year, which is a state regional competition. And then I was at the National Poetry Slam in Denver, Colorado with the Orlando Poetry Slam team. I started slamming in 2016, but I decided I wanted to combine these, and I actually met my first project team through Orlando Poetry Slam. So what we did was we took teenagers' 3-minute poetry slam pieces and we turned them into a full-length play. So that was back in January at the Tamukwa Arts Center. And so now I just want to re-implement that and just grow it stronger and just get more people involved. And it's just been a beautiful journey.
So tell me about social change. So you've mentioned that several times. It's part of the show. What does social change mean? What are you talking about? Obviously, that's on it. It's timely because I think it's on everyone's mind right now, even though it should be all the time. It's super right there. We're all looking at it and trying to figure out how to help it. But define social change for them and some things maybe that people can do, in your opinion, if you've got a talent. You're obviously working for the social change and you want to get the youth involved. Give them some examples.
So social change through theater as a platform for me is just using the stage to express issues that you have going on in your society around you or things that you have going on inside of you. So through my curriculums currently, I fuse improvisational activities with creative writing activities. And what I'm doing is I'm using prompts that will help us to get more oriented with what we're feeling on the inside to first be able to define ourselves and the issues that we're going through, and then to be able to express that outward, because it has to start from the inside out if we're going to impact our communities. And when we realize that inner strength, that inner confidence, and that we're able to communicate that, not only define what we want, but start to act on what we want. And then we do that through the theater platform by having those forums of kind of seeing other people's perspectives and how we can start to change the storyline. Then we can start to bring that into the communities. So one example, my last workshop that I did, we talked about our best and worst selves. My class was on dreams versus barriers. So we had an activity where we were talking about what we wanted to be when we were growing up, when we were a child, whether you wanted to be Superman or your best role model. And then we talked about what we thought was holding us back. And then we did an activity, a creative writing prompt, where we wrote letters to ourselves. And one of the sides of that letter was, I have accomplished this. I am best at, I have talents at, I always tell myself this positive thing about me. And then the worst side letter was, you think you are all these positive things, but you're really worthless. You should just give up. And then we ended up doing an image theater activity where I had the participants call out positive narratives, because we have those cops in our head telling us this is something that you can't do. So then I had used image theater. We held just still images of that negative, that worst self. And then we had the participants call a freeze, and then they added in the positive narratives of, you're here for a reason. You're doing the best you can at this time. And just in that space for me was a way to, it's not on, it's a very local micro scale at this point, but in that space for, 3 to 6 plus people, it's small now, but just for those participants, it starts to have an impact internally and to see from others' perspectives, this is things that I can be doing to change the narrative. And then I can start to help other people to do the same.
So what do you want to do with you? What do you want to expand on? Because this is obviously a really cool way for creatives, you're all creatives, to utilize their talent, their gift, and really make an impact in a different way, because people receive information differently. So there will be people who will be very receptive to anything that you're writing out or scenes that you're doing over just reading about it or just watching it on TV. And so what do you want to do? How do you want to include, where are you? Where are you located? Are you Orlando, right?
I'm Orlando, downtown Orlando.
Okay, because you're a UCF girl. I'm a UCF guy. But what do you want to see? Other programs that you want to maybe work with? Are you trying to go into the schools? What's the short-term / long-term goal for you?
I am in talks with OCPS. I do want to work with the kids. And it's minority groups. Our last kids that we worked with were age 14 and 19. They were all coming from broken families of parents that, they were living with an aunt or a grandparent, or parents that were dealing with drug addiction, things like that, where they kind of have to learn to grow up into themselves and take care of themselves. And from a young age, they start to live trauma-informed lives. So I know that you can use the theater space to communicate those issues that other people who are older may not have ever communicated when they were going through the same thing. So for me, I want to use the stage and the stories that the kids are sharing to be able to encourage others to say, if they did it from the places they've been through and at that young of an age, then I can do it too. Then I can start to open up. Then I can start to look outward and to see how I can help to first heal myself and then heal within my community.
What's the youth theater, the poetry community? What is that like? Because I guarantee you, I have people out there thinking, "Well, I'd like to get involved, but I'm afraid to perform. I've never said my poetry out loud or what I'm thinking out loud before in any kind of creative environment." What does it feel like when are people welcomed? I'm guessing most creatives are very welcoming. Are people welcome? Should they feel embarrassed? What do you say to that?
When I found Orlando Poetry Slam, and it changed hands a little bit when I started, it was called Safe Words, coming from that concept in theater of, and it's not just a concept from theater, but that concept of having a safe space, where we say safe space as a way to mean in this space, we can start to feel comfortable feeling uncomfortable with each other and being more intimate, kind of exposing those parts of ourselves that we might not have thought that other people's ever wanted to know about. So when I joined Safe Words, I was told, if someone ever tells you you can't do something, you just tell them, forget you, watch me. And that was a really powerful moment for me.
Sure.
And then we used to do writer circles there, and we would have workshops. There's a gentleman named Brett Ashman who, at the Milk Bar Lounge in downtown, he has hosted the Orlando Poetry Slam since 2015, I believe. So he's just always been there for the community. But so through his space, they were having writers workshops, and at one of them, I had said, because we were talking about stage presence, and I said that I was scared that whenever I went up on stage, someone else was just like waiting for me to fail, right? And because of those past negative experiences that some of us may go through growing up, those externals we start to internalize as, you're never gonna make it,
Right.
So for me, I was having in my head those voices of the people who were telling me, why are you here? You're not good enough. We don't want to hear you, whatever it is. But one of my friends had told me, like, in this space is where all those people, they don't exist anymore. So it's just always been and it's always been true. So it's just always been a very uplifting space to just come and just be who you are. So it's a way to fit in by standing out, which has always been what theater has been about for me.
I love that. All right. So if somebody is watching, or somebody thinks that somebody they know has talent, would want to get involved, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
To me, so you can reach me on Right to Be Seen on Facebook. Just search Right to Be Seen on Facebook. You can email me at pamelabalich@gmail.com. There is a banner on the blue screen at the bottom here that also has a link for more information for my website. But if you want to message me on my Facebook platform or to send me an email, those would be the best ways to reach out. I also have started hosting an open mic series. It was live in downtown, but I'm kind of iffy to start it back up face to face. I know that some platforms have done so already, but I did start an online series called Mental Wealth Mondays. So if you're interested in starting that communication through that theater platform, I do host it once a month, and it's the last Monday of every month.
Fantastic. You're amazing. What a good bunch of motivating information. I love it anytime we can do change, and we do it in a way that's creative. So it's not just to the masses, it's to the people you're trying to reach. they're probably looking for that platform. And so Pamela Belich, Right to Be Seen. That was awesome. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Appreciate you. Y'all have a good one. We'll be back.
Bye.
Bye.